Mm. Yeah, yeah. And here we are on another Saturday where they see the stars and the sun shines, but it's kind of cloudy right now. We gotta do our thing. We get rowdy, slow it down, calm it down. Yo, chill. Everything is gonna be all right, and we will be spreading the knowledge and stuff you ain't learning in college. But we gonna do our thing because we queens and kings, and I love to be here in front of this cam, and I speak on the mic like I don't give a ooh. But everything is gonna be all right. We do this thing 1 o'clock on the day, not the night. Urban Therapy with Sun Show, Sun 752. And tonight, excuse me, today we are talking about when you get tired of being the one to reach out. When you get tired of being the one to reach out, what y'all know about that, man? You know, you meet a lot of people along the way when you're growing up, as you live your life. You have friends, you have family members, you have children. Well, of course, children are family members too, but you know what I mean. You have people in your life that you try to hold on to, that you try to communicate with, that you try to reach out to, that you try to make sure it's okay. You know, you want to be there for the people for the people that you would hope would be there for you. And sometimes, man, you just want to make sure that people are right. And sometimes you can find yourself on a one-sided deal where you are the only one making the phone calls, where you are the only one doing the drive-bys, where you're the only one doing the support. You're the only one trying to extend the communication. And after a while, you can't front. After a while, you're going to get tired of that. But at what point do you get tired? There are levels and degrees to this thing. Well, what are the levels and degrees to when you decide that you're not going to reach out the way that you have been reaching out before? Like what is your breaking point? What is your breaking point? What's going on here? This is I don't know. Um, YouTube is doing some strange things, but I don't want to touch nothing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask y'all, can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Is everything okay? Because I'm seeing this strange thing at the bottom of my screen, and it's asking me, we had trouble saving your video. Retrying in 5 seconds. And it's not even moving I don't see the number moving or anything like that. So, but I don't want to take a chance on anything messing up this stream. Okay, Carol says, yes, I can hear you and see you fine. Okay, all right, then we're gonna rock with that. We're gonna let the technical people do what they do, and we're gonna do what we do. You know, your thing, their thing is their thing, and our thing is our thing. And if we could bring the two things together in harmony, then everything will be all right, and everything is gonna be all right. Yes, it will. But yeah, when you get tired of being the one to reach out, yeah, we gotta talk about this today because sometimes people may have said this to you. You may have said this to other people or felt this way towards somebody that you were close to at one point or trying to get close to or whatever, and it's just not working out the way that it should be. It's not the two-way street that you know that it should be. Communication is a two-way street. Sending and receiving, sending and receiving, sending and receiving. We're going to get into it. Urban Therapy with Sun 752. With this, the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Saturday from 1 p.m. till around 2:30-ish. And the reason that we say 2:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Saturday. And it is a Saturday. This is a show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Carol Chamber, let me friend me favorita. Always great to see me some you. And also T. Carey Wright, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Stacey White, thanks for coming on by. I appreciate you. And it's on high. So, when you get tired of being the one to reach out, let's talk about this today. We got something we got to talk about this afternoon, brothers and sisters. When you get tired of being the one that always has to reach out, you've been calling, texting, leaving messages, waiting, anticipating. Somebody that you probably used to talk to on a regular basis, used to hang out with, used to kick it with, grew up with, were close with, had bonds with, things in common with, friends with, lovers with, family members with. And they always have some excuse how come they can't get back to you, or won't get back to you, or can't come by, or didn't call back, or didn't communicate, or is absent. And you're like, okay. And sometimes it's a situation where it's not that they don't get back, but they don't get in touch with you like you get in touch with them. If you call them, they'll answer, but you always got to be the one to call. They ain't going to call you. To some people, that sounds petty. To me, it doesn't. It doesn't. Even if sometimes I'm the one that's the non-reach outer. But it's not petty. It's not. It's not. You know, when you care for somebody, when you care about somebody, when you reach out to somebody, you want to know that somebody cares for you too. You want to know that somebody loves you too. You want to know that somebody wants to talk to you the same way that you want to talk to them. You want to know that the lines of communication are open. It's not just a one-way street. You want to know that somebody isn't trying to move away from you and you're trying to pull them back. Sometimes it's like that. And sometimes you have to weather that storm. You know, people go through things. If you're dealing with a person that's dealing with severe depression or depression on any level, and it might be to the point where they almost physically can't call you back because you know that their mental and emotional state is so messed up that you know that they're not going to get back with you. So you understand that, and you're trying to give them a chance to heal, and at the same time let them know that you're there. No matter what happens, you're there to help. You're going to be there. Well, what happens when they start to get better? Because people do start to get better. What happens when rainbow is enough? When rainbow is enough. NWDSC. I mean, NWDCS. Do you know what NWDCS? When rainbow is enough. Colored girls. When rainbow is enough. NWDCS. Niggas what done considered suicide. NWDCS. Everybody knows what that is. Niggas what done considered suicide. When you're dealing with a nigga what done considered suicide, you know that you're dealing with a severe case. So no matter what, you may give that person a pass. But what about the person that you grew up with that was your right-hand man, your ace boon coon, your best friend, your bestie, BFF? What about that one? The one that got married or the one that got a job down south? Now that, you know, you realize, all right, in their new position and in their new area and all of that, you're trying to give them a chance to get settled. Well, they done got settled. They done been down south for 10 years. I mean, that's enough time to get settled. That's where you live now. You know, you have people who have moved out of Philly, but you can tell that they still got their foot They still got 1 foot still left in Philly. And then you have the people who don't live in Philly no more. And I'm only using Philadelphia as an example because this is where I live. But my Philly peeps know what I'm talking about. You have people who live in Delaware or Jersey or out in the county. Yeah, they moved out of Philly, but they still live in Philly. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They always in Philly. They always at they people's house. They always at a fish fry. They always at Lou and Chews, Top Shelf, Scooters, Waltz, Devil's Island, Champagnes in Germantown, whatever that club is, all the way up Germantown Avenue and Mount Airy Avenue. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Party people know what I'm talking about. Y'all, they always there. Temptations, all that. You hear all the time. People don't even realize that you don't live in the city limits anymore. That's how much you hear. And then you have the people who used to live in Philly. They still Eagles fans and Phillies fans and Sixers fans and all of that, but they have left Philly and they ain't coming back. They got to take that ride or that flight to come back, and they ain't doing it often like they were when they first moved. It is what it is. So that person, that's the person who moved out of the city, moved away from you, whatever, maybe started a family out, wherever they went, down south, out Midwest, up north, very rarely the West Coast, but sometimes that too. But anyway, and you still call it. Shout out to my people who moved out of Philly that still have a 215 or a 267 number. You living in Texas. What's your phone number? 215-267. You live in St. Louis. 267-215. So yeah, you still your Philly roots are still here, but you have moved, and that might be the person that you are reaching out to, talking to. Trying to reach out to, checking up on, checking in with. And you ain't getting that reach back. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. Well, how long does it take before you start to be like, well, you don't want to talk to me, then I don't want to talk to him. Well, when was the last time you talked to Rhonda? I'm being honest with you, I ain't talked to Rhonda in about 4 months, 5 months, whatever. That's still my girl. Well, but like she don't be calling me back. I don't know what's going on. I know her mom was sick and blah 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 blah. But I heard that she got better but listen, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I got tired of calling. If I keep calling and you don't call me back, or I keep texting and you slow to text back, or like you don't have to text me back even that day, but text me back within the next week or whatever. You act like I don't know. I ain't like the way that felt. I don't like the way that feels. When you get tired of being the one to reach out, it gets extremely frustrating when you are dealing with somebody that needs your help. They need financial help. They need a place to stay and all of that kind of stuff. And that they're the type of person who is too stubborn to ask for help. They are determined to make it on their own, even though they don't have what it takes to make it on their own. There's a difference between making it on your own and surviving on your own. There's a big difference between that. And when you love your peoples, when you care about your peoples, and when you have the means to be able to reach out and help your people, you're going to do it. But what happens when you keep doing it and you keep offering it and, people accept it, but they accept it, but you don't hear back from them. No thank you, no I appreciate it, no, follow up. Maybe to some people it sounds petty. Maybe to some people it's like, well, you shouldn't do something for people if you expect for them to do it back to you, or you shouldn't do something for somebody if you expect them to. I don't know. People be saying all kinds of stuff. Like you shouldn't, like you don't have any feelings. Like you shouldn't want any reciprocation, or you shouldn't want any acknowledgement, or you shouldn't want any type of feedback on what you're doing and what you're contributing to. So what happens when you get tired of being the one to reach out? What happens? How long does it take? Carol says that ish gets old after a while. Uh-huh. T. Carey Wright and Carol Chamberlain both think this show is about them. Listen, man, it's tough when you have a heart, because people will take unfair advantage of your heart. And that only sounds crazy to people who really don't ever want to help anybody, who really don't ever want to be down. But it's tiring. And it can be sad. I've known people who have experienced this with their children. Your children get older, they grown, they on their own, they fall in love, they get married, or they run into problems in life, drugs, and maybe crime and all that kind of stuff. And you trying to look out for your kids. So what happens when you keep reaching out to your babies, and your babies that take your money and your food and whatever gifts that you give them, whatever assistance that you afford to them, but you can't get a call back to see how they doing, to see how things worked out, to see how things are going. You're not privy to that? You mean to tell me that you ain't privy to that? I don't know if that's gonna go over well. Not with me, it ain't. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling that. So when you get tired of being the one to reach out, sometimes it's worth reaching out, especially when you're dealing with somebody who may be terminally ill or heading towards that. Maybe they're not terminally ill yet, but you see their health declining. Like let's say you're dealing with somebody who has like an autoimmune disease, like Parkinson's or ALS or something like that. And you know that they're not in the same health that they used to be in. They're not able to get around as much as they used to be able to get around. They're not able to move like they used to be able to move. And you know that it's taking a toll on their psyche. You know that they don't like, maybe that person was very mobile before, very outgoing, and now they can't do that. So, you reaching out to try to help. Keep their spirits up. Keep them in the loop of certain things. Try to keep their mind off of their sickness. So you keep reaching out. You keep reaching out. Now that person reaches back and reaches out to the other people that they want to reach out to, but it ain't you. You're the one that keeps reaching out to them. They're never the ones reaching back out to you. And you know this. You notice it, and you know that it's going on. You try to put it in the back of your mind. Well, you know, it's for this reason and for that reason, and you know, things will come around, and regardless, these are my peoples, and after a while, it's probably not going to pass the smell test with you. Probably not. After a while, you're probably going to get to the point where you say, "All right, well, I'm gonna just wait until that person get back to me." How about this? How about this one? Hold on, let me see what y'all talking about. By the way, if you would like to call into the show and express the way that you feel about this, I invite y'all to call in. And the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. That's a number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Get on the line. It's 319-527-6199. 319-527-6199. Press number 1, and that will let me know that you would like to speak. And then I will call you out by the last 4 digits of your telephone number. You can rock on and do the damn thing. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm your host, Sun752, and we are talking about when you get tired of being the one to reach out. Make sure that y'all hit that like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. I'd appreciate that. All right. So let me see. Let me see what y'all talking about. Because I got another scenario. I could actually talk about this all day. I could. Oh, okay. Carol says, I feel like I'm always apologizing and forgiving people when I haven't done anything to them. Yeah, that's tough. Toughy. TK Wright says, you chose violence today, sir. Nah, man, I mean, this is real. This is real. But because too many people experience this. They do. Because it works on you. You know how sometimes you have to take a screwdriver to tighten something up? Well, it's more frustrating when sometimes it can be frustrating to have to keep tightening something up because you know there's going to be a point to where you can't tighten it anymore. And if you tighten it anymore past that point where you can't tighten it anymore, you actually break it. Now you're dealing with a broke screw, which means that the whole product is malfunctioning now. It's broken. Because you tightened it, you tried more and more to repair it or to strengthen it, and it's broken now. Well, what happens when something that you have been trying to tighten up and make sure somebody else is loosening it? It's like trying to has anybody within the sound of my voice ever frustrated themselves trying to hang a picture? You know, if you don't understand where the placement of like the studs in the wall are, you may just take a nail or a screw and bang it into the wall. And if you're trying to hang something heavy on the wall, you need to have the screw or the nail banged into a stud so it will be able to withstand the weight of whatever you hang it on. Anybody who has done this and didn't know what they were doing knows that when you hang a nail or try to put a screw just into the drywall, and that nail or screw is just floating on the other side of that drywall. It's floating. You go ahead and try to hang something heavy on it if you want. Go ahead and try to hang something on it if you want. That's sort of what it feels like when you are trying to get something together and it seems like there's resistance on the other side or lack of support on the other side. Get it? The nail and the screw is floating on the other side. There's nothing supporting it on the other side. You need the stud to support it on the other side in order to hang something heavy. Just like when you reach out to support something and the other side is just floating. They're not supporting you on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So try this one on for size, y'all. Try this one on for size. When you reach out to somebody about somebody else, the somebody else that you're reaching out about should be the one to reach back to you. But you already know that they ain't right. Or there's some kind of static, there's some type of problem, there's some type of interference, there's something not right about the person that you're reaching out about. So let's say you're reaching out to your friend about their kids or about their mom. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's say you know how you grew up with friends and y'all used to go over each other's houses. So you know your mom knew all of your friends, your dad knew all of your friends, families knew each other back then. People who came over to the house. We didn't have strangers in our houses. It was the neighborhood kids. They came over to the crib and we ate over each other's houses. We slept over each other's houses and stuff like that. We knew each other. So if something went down, we knew where it was coming from, what it was hitting for. Even if we fought and stuff like that, we knew what it was all about. And we knew none of that tension was going to last very long. It was just growing pains. And sometimes the growing pains were severe. But anyway, so you may have had a friend's mom that you called mom. Your mom is like a mom to me, and my mom is like a mom to you. You know what I'm talking about. So when you have lost or loosened the contact that you used to have with that person and that person's mom, but you know that the person's mom has some health issues or whatever, and may not be doing all that well. So you're reaching out to somebody about their peoples, and they acting stupid about it. Listen, I'm just calling you to see how your mom doing, and does she need anything? Is she okay? Can I bring her something? Can I, see her at the hospital? Whatever the case may be. And this person, your peoples, they not giving you no updates. They not filling you on what's. I know it's tough when you're dealing with a senior citizen or whatever with health issues. They don't have to be senior citizens, but when you're dealing with a loved one that has health problems. But you're not the only one who cares about them. If somebody is reaching out to you to ask how your mom is doing, how your dad is doing, how your kids are doing, or whatever, and you know that the reason that they're reaching out is because there's some issues there. There's some problems there. But you left in limbo. It really gets worse. It really gets bad when you've been reaching out, asking about that person. You've been reaching out to the go-between about that person. They've been blowing you off. They've barely been giving you updates or getting back to you and all of that. Then the person dies. And you like, I've been telling you that I wanted to come see. I've been wanting to come see your mom. I've been wanting to come see your dad. I've been wanting to come see your uncle, whoever. Like, You kept dicking me around. And now they gone. Now, are you ever going to reach out to that person again? Because now you might be pissed. Like, is it that you didn't want me to see your mom? Is it that you didn't want me to visit your dad? You know, I mean, what's happening? Karen Chamberlain says sometimes you get busy just living life, so you don't always reach out to them. True. She also says, I have learned that I can only try so much. Then I'm done, and you won't hear from me again. Stacey White says, after a while, I get tired and I'll leave it in God's hands. I want to cuss, but I'm trying not to because I know I did all I could. Okay. Carol says, sometimes you have to leave some people where you found them. It's about my mental health. Mm-hmm. I get it. But when does that point come? When is the point when you get tired of reaching out? When you say, nah, I'm good. You know what's really frustrating? When you have to make the decision to stop reaching out. And that ain't really the decision that you wanted to make. It's the decision that you had to make. Like Carol said, for your mental health. Or it could be because you know you ain't no sucker. You ain't no square. You ain't no cornball. You ain't no bad person. So why should you have to run behind somebody trying to help them? Trying to love them? Why? Why should you have to do that? Spoiler alert, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Some of y'all have had conversations with the person that you have been reaching out to who hasn't been reaching out back to you. You've had conversations like, yo, why don't you give me a call sometime? You know what I mean? Holler at me. I be missing you. You know, yo, man, we were so close before. You know what I mean? You my man. You know what I mean? You know, just holler at the guy sometimes, man. You know, see what's up. Yeah, I know, man. You know, I just be so busy, you know, with the kids, wifey is blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to get this thing together, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, interesting. I got family members. That I've been through this before. I'm sorry. I have family members who I've been through this with before. Even recently. You know, I called a particular family member that lives down in Florida to see how they were doing. You know, because they had the bad storm down there. Hurricane Ian, you know, was ravaging Florida, especially South Florida. So I called them to see how they, you know, see if they were okay. Make sure the family was okay. So I call. I don't get any answer. I leave a message on a voicemail. I get a text back. And the text was acting like they couldn't call. Now, the thing about this whole situation was not so long ago, we wasn't even talking to each other actively. Like, all right, we're not speaking to each other. Cool. So when I read the text, it reminded me of the BS that they used to give me when they wasn't talking to me. I said, okay. You know how you don't want to feel the way that you really feel? So I said, okay, all right. I'm not the type of man that you gotta shoo away. I only can make a few attempts before I say, all right, well, I'm not the type of man that ever chased or pursued a woman. I haven't. I don't have that on my resume. I don't have it because I can't do it. You could call it a few things. You could say this old heart of mine just can't take that rejection. Or you could say that, man, I ain't gonna be running behind no. So I said, okay. I didn't want to jump to conclusions that maybe we had reverted back to what it was before, because I actually did get a call from that family member, and I said, okay, got a call back. All right. But you know how you need things when you need them, and after you've already, once you have washed your hands. Matter of fact, I'm going to take this hand sanitizer. It's actually just rubbing alcohol, but that's what hand sanitizer is made of anyway. So once you have decided that that's a wrap, like, okay, a lot of times that's when people start coming out of the cracks and out of the woodwork and want to work it out. Now you're kind of unwilling to do that. Like, no, I'm good. When I needed for us to be okay, you made sure that we weren't okay. Now I'm okay in your absence. As a matter of fact, I'm not interested in being okay with you anymore. I reached out numerous times, several times, every time, and I was the only one that was reaching out, and you didn't have time for me. Well, now, even though I have time, I don't need the time. I've given somebody else your slot. I don't need another person in my life to care about. I know it sounds harsh. I know it sounds mean, but it's true. I don't need anybody else to care about. Everybody I care about is here. You ever feel that way? Have you ever felt like you didn't have any more room? Like, no new friends, no new friends. I don't need no new friends. Me and my old friends, my day ones, we good. These new cats ain't real. They ain't real. And I don't have time to be acting like I'm down with somebody that I'm not down with. So go ahead with all that. You don't want to feel that way, but you feel that way. So people coming in, they Johnny come lately. You remember that movie? Did anybody or everybody see that movie, Jason's Lyric? My favorite, I didn't like the movie. My favorite scene in the movie was when Bokeem Woodbine came to the bank robbery late. He almost got shot coming into the bank robbery. He comes to the bank robbery. I don't know. For something about that scene, it was so funny to me. Like, what kind of crap is this? Yeah. That reminds me of how it feels when somebody is finally ready to give you the time that you've been asking for, the attention that you've been asking for, the courtesy that you've been asking for, the kindness, the consideration that you've been asking for. The one that the same that you have been providing. Now that you have said, all right, we're good. All right. You don't want to be with me. I don't want to be with you. You can find somebody else to be with. And y'all do whatever you feel like is appropriate. But I ain't with none of that bullshit. Now they want to start coming around. People notice when you ain't being active anymore. So what happens? What happens, Miss Chamberlain? What happens when you stop reaching out to a person? You stop giving us, you stop caring, you stop giving a, and soon as you stop reaching out, calling, texting, coming around, asking about, being active with, all of a sudden now they want to start calling and texting and asking to come around. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to think like, is it possible that you were getting off on me reaching out before? It's a nasty little suspicion to have, but I can't shake it. Were you getting off on that? Were you getting off on me reaching out to you, me caring about you, me trying to get in touch? Did it just feel good to you? And now that it's gone, you trying to get it back on track? Is it me? Is it me? Leslie Harris, what's going on, ma? Good to see me some you. Thanks for coming on out. Carol says you're forced to walk away when you start feeling like you're being used or not being used. How about that? You just being kept on the shelf. Leslie says some people are not worth your peace. Oh Lord. I said some people are not worth your peace. But Miss Harris, though. Hey, yo, Miss Harris. Miss Harris. Miss Harris. Yo. Hey, yo. Mom. What? Well, what about when you was trying to make peace with them? And that was part of your peace. Making sure that they were okay made you feel peaceful. And now you mad at them because they took away your ability to have peace by treating you like you wasn't worthy of peace. What about that, Miss Harris? My Miss Harris. You there? Hello? Thanks, Stacy. Appreciate it. But seriously, what about that? What about that part? She said, yes, I'm here. But what about that? You know, the reason that they're not worthy of our peace anymore is because we were trying to keep the peace in the first place. We see the thing about this topic that we're talking about. We're not talking about situations where somebody was mad at us. We're not talking about situations where somebody wasn't talking to us. We're not talking about situations where we had to get back together where we had a falling out or whatever. Sometimes that's the case, but that's not what we're primarily talking about. We're concentrating on. We're talking about a situation where people have moved away, people have gotten married, people have had children, people have grown up. Many of y'all have teenagers, godchildren, and stuff like that. They done grew up. Now you don't hear from them no more. Now, when you was providing back to school clothes and Christmas gifts and birthday stuff and anniversary and graduation things and all that kind of stuff, it was all good. Shout out Shout out to the parents of your of your godchildren. Yeah, the parents of your godchildren. Those parents that chose you to be the godparents of their children because they knew that you would come through for birthdays and graduations and holidays. They knew. They picked you for financial reasons. Made sure that the child kept in touch with you because they knew that you was coming through. They knew it. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. These opportunistic ass parents that chose you to be the godparent. You knew deep down inside what it was about, but you loved the person and you loved the kids. So you said, all right, yeah, I'll be the godchild. I'll be the godparent. Now, your godchild, 18, 19, 20 years old or whatever, and went to college, then had kids of their own and all that kind of stuff. You don't hear from them no more. None. Zero. I don't mean to sound mad. I don't mean to sound mad. But you know what I'm talking about. Godparents be mad. You know they do. Because godparents get used and abused. They ain't good for nothing but a check. They don't get used for nothing but a check. You know that godparents are supposed to be there as an auxiliary parent in the event that the biological parent passes away. You know what I'm talking about. But a lot of people pick the godparents based on the financial ability that the godparent has to take care of the child right now. I've heard people say, like, really, I wanted my sister to be the godparent of my child, but I thought that it probably would be better if Tina was the godparent because I knew she would step up to the plate. You know what she just said. So before your godparent, your godchild was, writing you thank you letters, calling you on the phone, because the parent was making them do it. Soon they got on their own. They forgot about all the great stuff that you did for them when you was the godmommy, godfather. Oh no. Leslie Harris says, I'm at PennDOT. Oh no. My condolences. Do you work at PennDOT? If you work at PennDOT, woo-wee!
90 seconds.
For real. Just, man, I ain't never been in PennDOT and been happy. It's a sad place. Trying to get your license back. Shout out to people who go down to PennDOT thinking that they're going to get their license, coming home, finding out they ain't getting their license back for a few months later or years later.
60 seconds.
I know what happened to me. Ain't that right, Mixmaster ICE? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a frustrating thing, man. It really is. You reaching out to people that ain't reaching back out to you. You're trying to keep the peace or extend the peace to people who are not doing any of that for you. Not for you, not to you, not nothing, you. When you get tired of being the one that has to reach out. One-way street. One-sided story. Yeah. It's tough, man. But shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all for, still trying. Shout out to y'all for y'all original efforts. And the most important thing is to try to keep from becoming angry and bitter and letting your memory be filled with anger or bitterness. That's an important thing because it's not that easy to do. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. But it's like one of those things that we have to work on. I work on it. You may work on it. It's a little tougher when you don't even see the benefit of it. Like, why should I have to work on my anger? I didn't do nothing. I'm the one that tried to do the right thing. I'm the one that did the right thing. I didn't just try. I did the right thing. I did the right thing time and time again. I feel like I'm left to kiss somebody's ass. I'm reaching out. And they, yeah. When you get tired of being the one to reach out, when you get tired of always being the one to reach out, when you get tired of being when you get tired of always being the only one to reach out, that's when it gets nasty. That's when it gets dirty. That's when it feels a little sickening. Like I said, shout out to those godparents that chose. I'm sorry. Shout out to the parents of your godparents that only chose you because you was a check. You were chosen to be a check. Now you know what men be feeling when they be dealing with these gold digging chicks. Not that men don't target women that make good money and milk them. Find yourself a heifer and milker. Find yourself a heifer and milker. Find yourself a heifer and milker. Milk the heifer. Milk the heifer. I said, find yourself a heifer and milker. Find yourself a heifer and milker. Find yourself a heifer and milk. Milk the heifer, baby. Milk the heifer. You ain't nothing but you ain't nothing but a heifer. You ain't nothing but you ain't nothing but a heifer. You ain't nothing but a heifer. Got milked all day. You ain't got no. Yo. How come we gotta say heifer and never heifer? I guess if you say the word heifer, then you really are talking about a cow. Shout out to cows. Moo, 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 ah, ah, moo, ah, moo. I love cows. All right, man. I'm starting tripping. This is sleep deprivation. This is sleep deprivation, y'all. This is sleep deprivation. All right. We gonna do these birthday shout outs and get on up out of here. We can't do this all day today. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious October 1st. And they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them, making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box. I want to give a happy heavenly birthday shout out to my late and great stepfather, my stepdaddy, who was more like a daddy, more like a father to me, stepped up to the plate and gave me what I needed at the time and helped mold me into the man that I am today and who I am forever grateful to. Henry Roscoe Blue, a.k.a. Rock, affectionately known as Rock to all who knew him. Henry Roscoe Blue. Rest in peace. Let's see, it's been 12 years now. Yeah, he passed in 2010, February 10th, 2010. And that man was instrumental in my life. I loved him to death. He loved me right back to death. You want to talk about somebody? You want to talk about reaching out? He always reached out. He always, wanted to make sure that I was good to go. He always called to see how I was doing and gave me the good word and put me on. That was my man, and he was always loud and loving and proud of me. Man, I miss that man. Shout out to him. All right. Also, Tamara Edwards, happy birthday to you. And also, Kimberly Mack Mingus, happy birthday to you. And Doris Bess Ruff, happy birthday to you, turning 73 years old today. And Katie Stallings, turning 44 years old today. And J.O. Moore, turning 41 years old today. And Justice Glenn, turning 40 years old today. And Shay Bullock, my girl Shay Bullock, happy birthday to you. And Prizzy Pro. Whoa, 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 whoa. And last but not least, go get her, my girl Nikki Justice, turning 40 years old today. However, I don't believe that she's only 40 years old today. But yeah, hey, it is what it is. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious October 1st. I hope that today finds you a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. All y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, check it out, P Games. Yo, check this. Yeah, when you oogie boogie that means that there are going to be times in your life where you are going to get tired of reaching out to somebody who is not reaching back to you, who is not showing any interest in being cool with you, who is not showing any love back, who is not showing any attention back, who is not showing anything back. You know what I mean? I don't know. People get on with what they get on with in their lives, and they live their lives, and sometimes you can get caught up in the fray of, nostalgia and remembering how things were before y'all had a fallout, before they moved away, before they grew up, before y'all grew apart, before they got married, before whatever the case may be. Sometimes the memories are the only things you have left to some people. But when you keep reaching out and nobody keeps reaching back to you, I can't tell you what to do in that situation, but I will tell you this. you're probably not going to be wrong in whatever you do. And that's whether you keep on reaching out or if you decide to stop reaching out. Just make sure that you are comfortable with the decision that you make to either keep going or to discontinue. Because when it all comes down to it, you're going to have to make that decision. And that decision should and will be all of yours. Love is love, baby. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. There will be no Urban Therapy with Sun show tomorrow. You know, I'm going to the game tomorrow. You know, so I'm getting myself together. But what I probably will do is the same thing I did last time we had a home game, which is, you know, go live while I'm down there. You know what I'm saying? We can kick it. We can kick it. Yes, we can. Can we kick it? Yes, we can. So I want y'all to have a great day. Shout out, peace, comfort, and love, and safety to all of the victims of Hurricane Ian, which has reduced itself to, it's not a hurricane anymore. So now it's just a tropical storm. But nonetheless, tropical storms can do a lot of damage. Still a lot of rain, a lot of wind, and stuff like that. It's just not in the category of what a hurricane is. So the severity can be a little less. But I want y'all to have a great day, man. Be safe out there. Show love out there. And get some of that love back. Can we do that? All right. So with that being said, that being said, all right. So Blog Talk, we gonna get you out of here. I want you to take care of my people. Yeah, take care and make sure that they reach on back to you, and make sure that you don't get frustrated to the point where you're not going to reach back no more. You're not going to reach out no more, and you're not sure that if you ever want to do it again. You want to get back with people who was your friends. And I understand that to the letter. I'm going to get another outlook on life. No stress or strife. The wife that I chose in this type of... Hold on. The heck? Okay. Stop. All right. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, man. This has been another installment of the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I hope y'all enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed broadcasting it. I'll see y'all later. Be safe. Peace. Out.